So if you're coming to this video for a glowing review, this is the wrong video. There's plenty of videos out there that cover features and give all the benefits of this grill. I'm going to cover where I think Pit Boss missed the mark. Welcome back to Teach a Man to Fish channel. I don't even know what to call this thing because it's a smoker, it's a grill, it's an upright smoker. They've got a lot crammed into this, and we're going to talk more about that. Let's go ahead and get started. Looking at the stack here, it's kind of flimsy. I don't think you get full range of adjusting the stack, which I do enjoy. It's got magnetic doors, and you'll notice throughout that the metal is bent, and I don't know if it's the people there in Walmart that put it together, but the metal is just kind of flimsy. That's a grease drain. It has to drain all the way through the grill. I do worry about that getting clogged up through the process. It goes through channels, flows across dampers. You'll see that a little later, and ultimately ends up in a bucket on the side of the smoker. There you can see a little bit more of that bent metal that I was talking throughout. I don't know if that was in assembly or not. Seal seems pretty good, pretty solid. The door, solid. It's got a magnetic latch. We'll talk more about that later. Hinges look pretty decent, but this is a pretty significant design flaw. The door doesn't actually touch the stop. It ends up resting on the handles. I don't believe this is intended to be this way because they put in a stop right there, but when it lifts forward, it never actually even makes contact with it. I definitely worry about all the pulls and the damper controls all throughout. As they get loaded up with grease and carbon and even the leftovers from the smoke, I can't envision these working very well for very long. This one, even in brand new, it does not function well. And throughout that area is actually what's going to catch the drippings from the meat that are in the main smoking chamber. When the searing is being done in this area, that is definitely going to load up with carbon and not work so well. I don't know who asked for a 40-pound hopper, but that's a lot of wood all crammed in there at once. Change out is not going to be easy. You'd better bring a friend and a truck when you go to bring this thing home. It's going to take up a large footprint too, and it is a monster. When they say caution heavy, I think they actually mean it. Anytime anything says 8-in-1, to me that's saying it does 8 things, but doesn't really do any of them very well. If you think back to the days of the TV VCR, they were never really good TVs and they were never really good VCRs. And if that VCR broke, you were stuck with a crummy TV, and just like that, if something breaks on this grill, you're going to be stuck with a grill that doesn't do well, doesn't barbecue well, doesn't smoke well. It's asking too much all at once. So for the doors, they put a magnetic latch to hold the doors closed. That's not going to compress that seal very much. I'm not sure why they chose to get rid of the compression latch that they have on their other equipment, but it's going to do those compression latches are going to do a better job of compressing that seal and keeping the smoke in. Thought it was kind of ironic that they show large shelf and a skillet, and there is not a stovetop on this thing. If you look closely at the grates, the enamel runs thin in spots, and if you're going to be doing searing over a high heat, I can't envision these grates lasting for very long, and that those thin spots in the enamel will cause rust to form. You'll be buying new grill grates, which may be what they want. These dampers are going to directly load up with carbon and grease, and they're expecting that to flow down across the damper into channels where those metal pieces are sliding off of each other, down into another channel, and ultimately out the side into a bucket that hangs on the side of the grill. This is a pretty bizarre design. You've got a damper door that opens up in the hopper through this screw that you pull it out, and the pellets, not at the bottom of the auger, but up the side, end up flowing out of the back of the grill. At the back of the smoke chamber, there's an access panel. I assume something's going to get funky in there that needs to be cleaned. When you start to look at the costs associated with getting all of these functions in a separate unit, you're going to get a better purpose design piece of equipment if you focus in on buying those specific items. If you want a vertical smoker, you're going to get the room that you want. The vertical smoker is very small. You're not going to have a whole lot of room for hanging. If you want a nice grill, go ahead and focus in on getting their grill, their 4-in-1 grill. The Memphis Ultimate with the propane in there is going to give you those options. If you're more interested in smoking and grilling with an offset and the pellet, you're better off getting their KC combo and then go with an upright as a separate. As a matter of fact, this one says 11-in-1. Man, does that fit the bill. I don't want it to seem like it's all bad that comes with this because I did not cover the benefits of it. You can watch other videos where people are talking about the virtues of this. This price, though, does give me pause. I stress it again. I think you're better off splitting these functions up across the grills.